In the far reaches of the Andromeda Galaxy, where stars shimmered like diamonds scattered across velvet, the Zorathian Empire reigned supreme. Known for their advanced technology and ruthless expansion, the Zorathians had conquered countless worlds, enslaving entire species to fuel their empire's insatiable hunger for power. Among their most prized possessions were the Kryllians, a peaceful telepathic race whose abilities made them invaluable as servants, advisors, and even weapons of war. But the galaxy was vast, and fate had a way of weaving unexpected threads into the tapestry of history. This is the story of how one human's choice changed everything. Chapter 1. The Inheritance. Eliot Grayson was an ordinary man living an unremarkable life on Earth. A historian by trade, he spent his days buried in ancient texts and forgotten archives, dreaming of a time when humanity might reach the stars. Little did he know, the stars were about to reach him. One fateful evening, as Eliot sorted through a pile of mail, he found a package unlike any he had ever seen. It was a sleek, metallic cube that hummed faintly when touched. As he turned it over in his hands, the cube suddenly activated, projecting a holographic message into the air. "Eliot Grayson," the message began, "you have been named the sole heir of Lord Kryllian, a noble of the Zorathian Empire. His estate, including his Kryllian slaves, now belongs to you. To claim your inheritance, present this cube to the nearest Zorathian outpost." Eliot stared at the message, his mind racing. Kryllian slaves. Zorathian Empire. Sounded like something out of a science fiction novel. But the cube was real, and so was the address of a Zorathian outpost, conveniently located on Mars. Chapter 2. The Journey. Against his better judgment, Eliot boarded a shuttle to Mars. The journey was surreal. Humanity had only recently established a colony on the Red Planet, and the idea of an alien outpost existing there was beyond belief. Yet, as the shuttle descended, Eliot saw it. A massive, otherworldly structure nestled in the Martian dunes, its spires gleaming under the pale sunlight. The Zorathians, tall and imposing with iridescent skin and glowing eyes, greeted him with cold efficiency. They scanned the cube, verified his identity, and led him to a chamber filled with holographic displays. There Eliot learned the truth. Lord Kryllian had been a high-ranking Zorathian noble who, for reasons unknown, had named a human as his heir. His estate included vast wealth, a fleet of ships, and, most shockingly, over 1,000 Kryllian slaves. The Kryllians, with their gentle demeanor and telepathic abilities, were considered the crown jewel of his inheritance. "You must decide their fate," the Zorathian overseer said. "Will you keep them, sell them, or set them free? Choose wisely, human. Your decision will have consequences." Chapter 3. The Choice. Eliot was taken to a holding facility where the Kryllians were kept. They were a hauntingly beautiful species, with shimmering silver skin and eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. As he walked among them, he felt their telepathic presence brush against his mind, not with force, but with curiosity and hope. One Kryllian, a young female named Lyra, stepped forward. "You are not like the others," she said, her voice echoing in his mind. "You carry no malice, no greed. You are different." Eliot knelt to meet her gaze. "I don't know what to do," he admitted. "I never asked for this. I don't even understand how I ended up here." Lyra smiled softly. "Perhaps that is why you were chosen. The Zorathians see strength in power and control. But true strength lies in compassion and choice. Whatever you decide, know that we will accept it." Eliot spent hours talking to the Kryllians, learning about their culture, their history, and the suffering they had endured. He felt the weight of their lives pressing down on him, a responsibility he had never imagined bearing. Chapter 4: The Decision. The Zorathians grew impatient. "You must choose," the overseer demanded. "The galaxy does not wait for indecision." Eliot took a deep breath. He thought of Earth, of humanity's struggles and triumphs. He thought of the Kryllians, their resilience and kindness despite centuries of oppression. And he thought of the Zorathians, their empire built on the backs of others. Finally he made his choice. "I will free them," Eliot declared. "Every single one." The overseer's eyes narrowed. "You would give up such wealth and power. Foolish human. Do you not understand what you are throwing away?" "I understand perfectly," Eliot replied. "And I choose freedom." Chapter 5: The Ripple Effect. The Zorathians, bound by their own laws, had no choice but to comply. The Kryllians were released, their bonds shattered. But Eliot's decision sent shockwaves across the galaxy. For the first time in centuries, a slave owner had willingly freed their slaves. The act was unprecedented, and it ignited a spark of hope among the oppressed. On Zorathian-controlled worlds, whispers of rebellion began to spread. The Kryllians, now free, used their telepathic abilities to communicate with other enslaved species, spreading the message of liberation. The Zorathian Empire, built on fear and control, began to tremble. Eliot's choice had exposed a crack in their foundation, and that crack was widening. Chapter 6: The Legacy. Eliot returned to Earth, but his life was forever changed. He became a symbol of hope, not just for humanity but for all sentient beings. The Kryllians, grateful for their freedom, established a colony on a distant world, vowing to never forget the human who had given them a second chance. As for the Zorathians, their empire began to crumble. The galaxy, once silent under their rule, rose up in defiance. Eliot's choice had been the catalyst, the spark that ignited a revolution. Years later, as Eliot sat in his study, surrounded by books and memories, he received a visitor. It was Lyra, now a leader among her people. "You changed everything," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "Because of you, the galaxy is free." Eliot smiled. "I didn't do it alone. It was the courage of the oppressed, the strength of those who fought for their freedom, that made the difference. I just made a choice. A choice that shook the galaxy," Lyra replied. "And for that we will always be grateful." Epilogue. Eliot Grayson's name became legend, a reminder that even the smallest act of courage can change the course of history. His unexpected choice, to value freedom over power, echoed across the stars, inspiring countless others to stand against tyranny. And so, in the vast expanse of the galaxy, where stars shimmered like diamonds scattered across velvet, the legacy of one human's compassion lived on, a beacon of hope for all.